And welcome Robert Frazza, the Director of Programming from the Bearsville Theatre down in Woodstock, or actually Bearsville out of Woodstock. Welcome to CatskillsAir, Robert. How are you doing?
Very good. We are actually located in the town of Woodstock. If you cross the creek here, then you'll be in Bearsville.
Cripple Creek.
Right. So it was named after Albert Grossman's enterprises, Bearsville Records, Bearsville Studios.
Well, that's a good place to start, because before we go into what's coming up this season at the theatre, give us a little history of where you are and how you started. And you mentioned Albert Grossman, so start with him.
I was actually brought up to this area by Albert's widow, Sally Grossman, to work at the Bearsville Studios up on Spear Road here. And then we opened the theater in 1989. I believe she had to get it open for tax reasons. I think that was the main drive there, because she never really treated it like, a venue per se. So back then we would do a show once every 3 months kind of thing. Yeah. But the theater itself was never intended, from Albert's point of view, to be a public space. He built it to showcase his own artists to industry professionals, but also as a place where his artists could come hang out and, hang out with each other and just mingle. But that's the origins of the building. So 1989 officially opened.
Okay, you talk about Albert's clients. So for the layperson, can you just throw out some names? I know, of course, but trying to fish it out of you.
Well, of course, I don't know all of them, but certainly the Bearsville Records label, which had Todd Rundgren, Utopia, Foghat, Paul Butterfield, Jesse Winchester, many more. I don't know all of them. But and of course he managed Bob Dylan and Janis Joplin and the band, and Odetta, I think, was one of his earlier management positions. Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Right.
So yeah, a lot of those people were up here being creative. He built the studios, he built this whole complex really based around his artists, for them to come up and hang out in a peaceful environment and create, instead of being down in the city where you have all these distractions.
Right. And at one time there was a Bearsville studio. And
correct.
Yeah.
That was on Spear Road in the town of Woodstock.
Yeah. And Utopia stage is still there?
Yes, Utopia Soundstage, which is across the drive from the theater, that was built as a video studio for Todd Rundgren. In I guess they started in the late 70s, early 80s, building that. Good.
So we've got a bit of history now. So let's tell me how the COVID lockdown affected you as a business. I know your answer, but I just like to hear it from you. And we can talk about the upcoming season.
All right. So long story short, the new owner, Lizzie Van, bought the venue a year ago, last August. And when she bought it, literally water pouring through the roofs, burst water pipes. The building was in very bad shape. So we spent a year and a half refurbishing, upgrading everything. And we were actually ready to open last March. And we got closed down about 2 weeks prior to when we were supposed to open. So in the meantime, we've been trying everything to do within state rules and regulations to do whatever we can. Last summer we had some shows outside in our back garden, but again, last year we were only allowed 50 people into the blocked off area that we had, and at best with that we were breaking even. So by September that was over with, and on the production level of things we ended up turning to video. So we were doing live streams out of here and that again was also kind of like a break-even thing at best.
Yeah.
I think because every other venue was also doing it at the same time, so I think there was this overload of live streams, and it's a totally different vibe with no audience.
Absolutely.
So the artists themselves, I think, were struggling on stage, going like,
Yeah. There was a lot even doing it from their bedrooms and kitchens and things like that. Well, now you're chomping at the bit to get the season on the way. So depending on what day this goes out on air, let's start with the start, and we can always, work around it. So the first thing coming up, I believe, is the Bob Dylan extravaganza.
Well, actually, last weekend was my official opening. I had the Restless Age on Friday, and I had Lindsay Webster Lindsay Webster and band on Saturday, and it was both fantastic shows. The bands were really excited to be out playing, and of course we had limited capacity, so we had to deal with that. We're really looking at the New York State rules and regulations and abiding by that completely. On top of that, because of that, we have a registered nurse out front checking for vaccinations, proof of vaccination. If you don't have proof, we ask that you take a quick test.
Right.
Anyone, unfortunately, who doesn't want to take that test, we're not allowing in the building. So we're just trying to abide by, actually, we have no choice. We have to abide by the state rules and regulations.
Right. So the show is coming up then. As I say, we'll start with this week's shows, because I'm saying not sure when this is going to go live, but let's start there anyway and give it a little hit.
Okay, so the show we have coming up this weekend is our annual Bob Dylan birthday celebration, which is actually, we're calling it the 12th annual birthday celebration, but of course we had to cancel it last year. So we're actually in the 13th year, but it's the 12th version. Right. After that, we have Mark Rebo's Ceramic Dog with Billy Martin, Medeski and Martin opening for Mark Rebo on both Monday and Tuesday, the 7th and 8th. That's really going to be a great show. And then we are also doing, taking advantage of the outdoor thing also. So every Saturday, we're trying to do an Americana barbecue thing, either Americana or bluegrass with a barbecue on Saturday afternoons. And then Sunday mornings, 11 to 3, we're doing jazz brunch. So that's something that we're trying to do consistently, just so people know that we're here and open. And on top of that, we are adding live shows in the building as they come up.
As far as capacity goes, where are you at the moment as far as restrictions?
Well, as it changes daily, we're currently at 250 with social distancing. So for us, we're really looking around 200.
Right.
So again, we're watching that information coming out of Albany every day and seeing if and when it changes, then we will adjust accordingly.
And how long does your summer season last, especially the outdoor season?
We're talking, Labor Day.
Right.
Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Okay, and tickets for sale on the site, or is there off-site?
The outdoor stuff we're not putting on the site as far as ticket sales. It's just $10 at the door, and that money's going to the musicians. We're trying not to crowd up the website. But we are listing them on the website as to who's playing.
Right. So it's first come, first serve, basically.
Yeah, outdoors we can actually do a lot more. We can accommodate a lot more people. So that's really not a worry.
Good. So encourage people to go to the website anyway. So give out your website address so people can check this out, or who's never heard of the theater or the history of it, so they can at least go and have a look at it.
Okay, it's bearsvilletheater.com. Very simple.
It's a wonderful place, folks. It's steeped in history. It's a magical place and a beautiful surrounding. And as I say, if you haven't visited for a show, at least go and have a look around. The there's murals on the wall, there's paintings of past artists. Yeah.
This is part of the upgrade. Lizzie visited the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville, and the Ryman was the original Grand Ole Opry, so they kind of have the whole history of the place, and she's kind of taken that idea, brought it here about the music made in Woodstock. It's not necessarily the festival, but the musicians and the records and all the art that has actually been made in this town and surrounding area. So
we're very lucky to have it. We're very lucky to have it. You're the premier venue up here in the Catskills, and as I say, steeped in history, and it is akin to the Ryman because the associations that we have with the band and Dylan and Todd Rundgren and all those crowds. So go a little deeper into the shows this summer if you can, Robert, so we can.
So right now, obviously, I'm dealing with a lot of local talent just because the national acts are not really, on tour because they're a normal scenario in a normal booking year, you would be booking 4 to 9 months in advance.
Right.
So we basically got this information a month and a half ago of like, okay, now we can open. And it's like, okay, quick. Book the place. It's like, okay, well, who do we book? Luckily for us, as I said, the area is steeped in A-list musicians, so we are really lucky. So as I said, we got 2/3 of Medeski Martin Wood coming in with Mark Rebo.
That's gonna be a great show. That's gonna be a great show.
Player. We have the Levin brothers, Pete and Tony Levin, coming in with their jazz project. We have the Parker brothers, which is 5, the whole family, 5 drummers in the family, all professional players coming in. We've got Scott Petito and friends doing Let It Be in full and sessions from the Get Back sessions. Music. We have Mighty Mystic reggae. We have Sweet Clementines. We have Gratefully Yours, which is a great Grateful Dead thing. We have Baloo, Levin, Mastellato and Friends coming up in August. That's always a sellout. We've got NRBQ coming. We've got Cal David coming back. We have local favorites, Professor Louie. Plus, we have the Woodstock Film Festival. We have the Guitar Invitational, all currently scheduled. And then by September, October, start to look for more of the national acts coming back. Brand X, Robbie Dupree, Nectar. So yeah, I mean, it's that's what I'm saying. Even filling the schedule with the summer schedule with like, okay, what do you do at the last minute?
Right.
The caliber of musicians we have in the neighborhood are just astounding. So
great catchment area.
We've been really lucky on that level.
Well, I really encourage people to go at least check out the site and go see a show. And these Sunday brunches and jazz brunches and things, it sounds like a great outdoor thing to do in the summer this year.
Yeah, prime example. This just past Sunday, Mike D'Amico and Rich Syracuse were our guests, and Lindsey Webster popped in. Jumped up on stage and sang a bunch of tunes. So it was a great surprise for us and certainly for the audience. So as I said, always something going on, always something special happening.
You're never sure what's going to happen, who's going to jump up on stage, right? So
absolutely, it's
a great atmosphere. And just give out your contact info again so people can get in touch with you.
BearsvilleTheater.com for the website, BearsvilleTheater@gmail for email. Very simple.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for taking part in this, and best of luck for the season. And I hope you get the bums on the seats and the bands get paid. Buy the T-shirt, folks, as well. If you're going to a show, buy the T-shirt. All goes to the band. So So thank you so much, and the best of luck for the rest of the season.
Much appreciated. Thanks for having me.